control framework, and we are going to do the revision and question answer session. What is this control framework? The control framework comes into picture when our SAP GUI interact with the application server. Okay, so basically the point over here we are having the application server, and we have the presentation server, right? So this is our presentation server, that means SAP GUI. So what happens whenever some request goes from application server to presentation server? In order to make it performance effective, we use the control framework. So how? So let me share one example. So here, let's suppose if you go to some table, maybe Mara, or click on this execute button. Let's suppose if you have to insert some row, so maybe custom table would be better. Okay, let me take some custom table. Okay, so here, let's suppose you have to put some entry. So one entry you have put it over here. Again, some another entry you have put, right? So you have put the multiple entry, right? You have put over here the multiple entry. But before NetWeaver, before NetWeaver 4.6c, right? Very old story. When you were clicking on the plus button, or when you were interacting with the presentation server, SAP GUI, the control used to go to the backend also, right? Which was not required. What ideally it should happen, right? What ideally it should happen. So if you run this one, and here are you getting something plus? Let me go into the edit mode. I'm just going into the edit mode, and here let's suppose you have to insert some more row, right? Again, more row, like that. So all these 4 records should go in one go to the backend at the application server. Then it will improve the performance. Like if you just click on this plus button, and if the control is going to the backend, like to the application server, again from there if it is coming, then it will not make more sense, right? It will hamper the performance. So here itself, you can see that the 4 placeholder has been created, 4 rows has been created, and now we are like in one go, like one row is created, again some another row we are having. We can put the data over here, and we can click on the save button. All those record will go into backend, and it will be saved into the database, right? Now, how it is possible? It is possible due to the ActiveX control, due to the different types of control. Okay, so topic is a control framework. What is the meaning of control? What is the meaning of a control? The one which I have shown you, that is the meaning of a control. When you are clicking on the plus button, you are able to get it over here, one record, one another record. How it is possible? This is possible due to the control, right? So come here. See, controls are independent software component embedded in SAP GUI. Okay. Controls can be used to achieve extra flexible functionality. SAP supports ActiveX controls for MS Windows platforms and Java Beans for the SAP GUI in the Java environment. Okay. Control helps to improve the performance by having the data on the presentation server instead of application server. For example, during scrolling and editing the text etc. So for here you can see that here itself you are going to put the data here. If you want to edit, you can be able to edit here itself on the presentation server. On the GUI itself you will be able to edit. You don't have to interact with the application server. This presentation server is having a stand alone functionality of edit and all those things with the help of the control. And if you scroll down, where it's getting a scroll down, or the presentation server, when the next page is coming, so in the reuse ALV grid, when you scroll down, it fetches the data from the backend. When you page down, it is not like in one go all the data will come on sit into this. Okay. In reuse ALV grid, okay, in the reuse ALV grid, they use the ActiveX control. Because they use the ActiveX control, it will not fetch all the data in one go. Okay. When you will page down, then in order to fill the next page, it will go and fetch the data from application server. Means it will get the data from application server and display over here. Okay. So this is what actually. Then the frequent data exchange from backend to front end and vice versa increase the load on the network. So let's suppose like if you click on this plus button over here and this control goes to the application server, right? Again, if you click on the plus and control goes to the application server. So if this interaction happens with the application server in each and every time, whenever you click on the plus button, it will hamper the performance, right? And which is not required also. But it was possible earlier, like the control used to go with the application server, like application server. So whatever you were taking the action, if you were clicking on the plus button, it was interacting with the application server, right? But with the help of control, it is not required. Just you click on this plus button, fill up all the data, click on the save button, all the data in one go, it will go to the backend, that means to the application server, and whatever the functionality you want to achieve, you can achieve. So okay, so frequent data exchange on from backend to front end and vice versa increase the load on the network and gives the bad experience for user due to the slowdown of the application, due to the extra overhead on the application. Hence, if most of the work is going to be done at front end only, then control becomes useful. All right. So at front end itself, you are going to do most of the work. And how it is possible? It is possible with the help of control. What are the different types of control we are having? SAP supports two types of control. One is the ActiveX control for MS Windows platform and Java Beans. This is ActiveX controls and Java Beans. There are two types of controls supported by SAP. So now there are two types of control. One is the application control. Okay. One is the application control and another is Just a second. One is the application control and another is the container controls. Okay. So how the SAP GUI, this stuff, if you remember, for having any kind of a screen element, right? When we were using the CL GUI ALV grid, first we were creating the container, right? Then inside the container, we were passing the like container control, right? First you should have the screen, then you have the control container, and inside the container you will be having some application like CLGUI ALV grid, or maybe some text control, some HTML control, right? So this is how the structure of any control. First you will be having the screen. With the screen you will be having the container control, and inside the container control you are having the application control. This is what we have been doing in CLGUI ALV grid. If you remember, I have first uh, created one screen, right? And then I created the container control using the CLGUI underscore custom underscore container, and then the container reference we passed to the object of CLGUI ALV grid, and whatever the ALV object we found, with the help of that we displayed the data, right? So in this case, one is your screen, that is the 500, container control over here, that means CLGUI custom container, and here application control, that means CLGUI ALV grid. So we are having different types of controls. One is the custom control, container control, and then we are having the application control. I will show you some of the application control. One already we have seen, CLGUI ALV grid, that is one of the application control, right? So here, application control, this component is used inside a container controls to achieve a specific functionality like displaying the HTML page. Suppose if you have to display the HTML page, suppose if you have to display the text, suppose if you have to display the ALV, right? So how we can do? We can do with the help of application control, right? I will show you this HTML page, how you can display using the application control. For displaying the HTML page, we have another HTML application class, and with the help of that we can display. For ALV, what we are having? We are having CLGUI ALV grid, or we are having CL Salvi table. Okay. Container controls. Container control is nothing but CLGUI custom container. That is one example. Then you are having the docking container, right? Different types of container controls we are having. The one which we are using till now is the CLGUI custom container. Okay. This component is used to hold the application controls, right? To provide the standard layout on the screen, right? Each container controls must be associated with the screen, right? So container control, so custom container we have to create, and that custom container name we have to pass inside the CLGUI custom container, and that together is known as the container control. Are you able to understand? If you are able to understand, write capital Y whatever we are discussing over here, right? If it is making sense, just write capital Y. Okay, fine, good. Thank you for the confirmation. And now let's go to the next page. I will show you some container controls. So see, this one, CLGUI custom container, is one of the container control which we have used, right? So how we use? First we create the a screen. Inside that screen we create the custom container, right? And that custom container we attach with the application control, right? So this is the full steps which we were using in CLGUI ALV grid. The same I have written it over here. Okay. Then the docking container. What is this docking container? See, so if you go to some transaction, let's suppose /NSCAT, all right, and here you can see that I can dock to right, I can dock to left. How it is possible? This is possible with the help of a docking container. Okay, this is possible with the help of docking container. If docking container will not be used, then it is not possible to be drag to right and drag to left. So for that purpose, we are having one class called CLGUI docking container, and this class can be used in order to create such kind of application. So you can divide the screen into two parts. You can see one is the left part over here and another is the right part over here, and you can shift to left, shift to right. This is possible with the help of docking container. Okay, so uh, I would suggest you just go and explore this. Okay, CLGUI docking container, how you can use this one through the Google. How to use, just I have given some simple steps. While creating the object of this class must need to be linked with any one of the edge of the screen. So see, you can see that what actually I'm trying to tell it, that when you are creating the container, any one of the edge, you can see that there are four edge in any screen, there are four edge. So one of the edge should be attached. This is attached with the left edge, and that's why here you can see left, right, you are able to do so. So this is what the meaning of this statement. All right. Then you have CLGUI splitter control, splitting the screen area into vertical and horizontal section. That means splitting the screen into multiple parts. So if you have this screen to be splitted into multiple parts, right? Multiple parts if you want to split. For that purpose, a splitter control you can use. So this also just to go and explore this one. Okay, fine. So this is some basics of control framework. Okay, now let's go and understand more about the control framework. Inside the control framework, there are two keywords which is very important. You know, there are two keywords which is very important. One is the flush and another is the dispatch. Very interesting, very important from interview point of view also, and from your understanding point of view also. Okay, so first let me show you some one or two more control. Let's suppose if you have to, you know, so one control we have already seen, right? CLGY LV grid, and we understood that well. One more application control, maybe I can show you one simple one. Go to SC38, and let's suppose if you have to display the www.google.com, okay, in your program. So Z here, write the program name 19, and here HTML control. So the control which is used for the purpose of displaying the URL, that is known as the HTML control. Okay, so here HTML. So this HTML control is nothing but your application control. Okay, this is one of the application control, HTML control. Executable program, save it, ZO above, click on this OK button. Okay. So now for this purpose, what we have to do, that we are going to create. So can you tell me, any kind of application control need to be attached with, need to be contained in inside the container control, right? So every time you are going to create the CLGUI custom container, that is important. Okay, so you will require to have one what, a screen. So let's have some screen number over here. Double click over there, it will ask you to create the screen, and we will simply go and create one screen, and go to this layout, and custom control. Okay, give the name. Some name we have to give. So maybe HTML, HTML control, HTMLC, HTML container, something like that. I have just given it. Go to the flow logic, click on the save button, check the syntax, and fine. We have to go and write the code inside the PBO and inside the PAI. PAI for the purpose of handling the button and all, right? We'll do that. But before that, we need to create the container, right? And the container need to be attached with the HTML control. So we need to create the two object. So let's go and create the two reference. One is the geo underscore custom container type ref to CL GUI custom container. Okay. Another, we require to have HTML container type ref to CL underscore. The HTML container is that container name is CL underscore RSRT underscore viewer underscore HTML underscore control. You can just simply Google it out. I have already noted it in my notepad, so I am able to remember this. Okay. Geo HTML underscore C type ref to CL RSRT viewer HTML control CL GUI custom container. There are two types of reference I have created over here, right? Now what we have to do, go to this 100 number and go to the PBO, double click over here, click on the CS button, main class, main program itself we can select, and set the title bar. If you want to set the title bar over here, okay, so double click over here and create the title bar day 19 control framework. Save it, and PF status also I will require. Okay, so let's create the PF status also. Double click on the CS button. So some dummy name just simply I have given, and so at least to go back I require to have one button, right? So simply in order to go back, I will give one button over here, back, and one save button also I will require in the next example. So I'm just giving save and back, two button. Save it and just go back and activate this. Activate this one, it is not activated. This is fine. Okay, so now we are done with the PF status and title bar. This is fine. Next step, what we have to do, that create the container object. So if the container object is not bound, right? If container object is not bound, means initial, then in that case create the container object geo underscore custom container. All this, let's keep it simple, the code, but in real time please mention this exception, and this is always good to cover. I'm just going to keep my code simple, it will be easy to understand. Okay, so just remove all these things is not required. 99% times we use only this, the container name, in our custom development. Okay, so here the container name is, I have given HTMLC, right? If you remember, HTMLC, the is on a screen which I have created, HTMLC. So geo custom container is now created, and once you create this one, after that you have to create the HTML page control, right? So create object Just copy HTML control. You have to clear the HTML control and container name or container PF key program item renderer HTML. No, something I'm missing. CL. This is not required basically. This is simple control, some HTML simple control. Renderer control is not required. CL underscore HTML viewer, I think. Let's go and search that control, because the template which is coming, that is different template is coming. CL HTML viewer HTML tool for ABAP info channel wave display SAP script HTML data service. Let's press F4 and see. Display processing. In container, actually we should have one parent as a parameter, so that's what I'm looking. GUI HTML viewer, this one actually. Let's see. Inside its constructor, search for the constructor. This is the constructor parameter, and it should have parent. Yeah, this one actually I'm looking. CLGUI container, this is fine, and this we can use. Copy this one and paste it, because here this renderer and all I don't require this one. Control space. Yes, this looks good. Just I'm removing this and come over here. Give this inside this parent. What we are going to give inside the parent, this we will give, right? This is your parent. Others and all is also we can remove. Okay. So HTML-C. Now this HTML-C is having one method, something related with URL. So let's go and search this HTML_C. Something related with URL, it should have the method. So different methods it is there. Show URL, this one. Okay. This method we can use for the purpose of displaying any web page. So here you can pass. So let's suppose I want to display based upon my requirement. So parameters p underscore URL type a string. Okay. So this URL, let's see what kind of data is there for the URL type C, right? So a string will be fine. There should not be any problem. And p underscore URL, right? P underscore URL. Check the syntax now. And it's telling that not type compatible. Okay, fine. So just give over here 100. Check the syntax. That means the meaning of this means this actually. So this way also we can do p underscore URL type char 100. Okay. So it's working fine. And now just activate this one. Activate this one. So run this and p underscore URL over here www.google.com. I want to display. Run this one, and you can see that you are able to display the google.com. And if you want to search over here something, so SAP Take Made Easy. Let's suppose here on the Google search option, see all these things, you are able to do it, right? So like that, you can do. Just click on this go button, back button, right? So back button we have not implemented, that's why it is not working. Go to SC38, go into the change mode, and we have to implement the back button. Where we are going to implement the back button, right? In process after input. Go here, click on the CS button, click on this OK button, click on this yes button, and case, what is this? Back case user command, right? Case user command, and when it's the back button, then leave to screen 0. So if you want to go back, you have to use this syntax, leave to screen 0. Check the syntax. User command is unknown. What we use? SciUcom, sorry. We use SciUcom, not user command. Check the syntax and activate this one. Activate. Okay, so you got it now, right? Show URL and all these things. Just run this and you give this www.saper.com or anything. First you give the google.com so that it will, or facebook.com. Let's suppose if you want to open the facebook.com, and just run this one and you will be able to open the Facebook. See here, this is the Facebook. You have to obviously log in, right? So this is how you can do it. So we have to go back again. We are not able to go back because it is not properly activated. Okay, we have written the logic, but we forgot to activate it properly. Then we have to activate it. So go here and go to the object navigator, and from there try to activate so that everything will be activated properly. See, two object is not activated properly. Okay, so you have to rerun the program. So you got the idea, right? How we are going to do any www.saper.com directly you can open. Okay, you should be able to open that. Might be taking some time, right? It taking some time. It's opening. See here, you are able to open, right? So like that you can create the HTML control and you can do in the SAP, right? Is it okay? Are you finding it useful? If you are finding it useful, type capital U. Okay, and we will be learning the next stuff now. Okay, fine. Thank you for your confirmation. And now let's go and see the two important control. One is the flush and another is the dispatch. Very important concept. Very important concept. Earlier when the Fury and all these things were not in the picture, it used to be a very important interview question. Interviewer, we are asking what is the use of flush? Okay, what is the use of dispatch? Right, so if we are learning the object oriented ABAP, it's making sense to learn those concepts inside the control framework. What is this and how to use? So in order to make you understand this, I'm going to take the example of text edit control. Okay, we are going to take the example of text edit control. So go to SC38 once again, and I'll copy the same program into 20, and I will also show you the text edit control. Text edit control, click on this copy button, copy, save it. Okay, going to the change mode, and for this program I have to create again this screen, right? Because that 100 earlier I created for program number 19. So here just come and give some text edit, or simply I'm going to write control framework, CFW, control framework flush and dispatch. These two things going to show you. Click on this layout and create some container over here, and this is for the purpose to hold the text control. So just I'm giving text C, just save it, and module status 100 here. This is the process before output, right? 20. Okay, we have already copied, that's why all this is showing. So that's fine, no problem. Set PF status day 19 here, but for this program again we have to create, right? So I can use the old program of program. What was the old program? This one. So I can use the GUI status of the old program which already I have created, and the title bar you can give the different title bar, not required, not mandatory. This I need because I have to go back and all, so for that purpose, right? So all this code and everything is copied. Now come over here and create the custom container, and the name this time what I have given, text C I have given, text C for the custom text control. And for text control the class is different. Okay, the class name is CLGUI text edit, CLGUI text edit. Okay, so we got this one. This show URL and all is not required, right? This is not required. Check the syntax now. CLGUI text edit is unknown, right? Am I doing any mistake over here? CLGUI text edit, CLGUI text, okay, underscore is not required. ZAO above, we have to put into single quotes and make it capital. So just put into single quotes, check the syntax over here, activate this one, activate this, and come here and activate everything together so that nothing will be left. Got activated, and just run this. URL and all is not required, so I'm going to remove that URL part now. Check this, activate this one, F8. So just I pressed F8, taking some time. It will show that particular container, and inside that container what I have created, the text control I have created so that I can enter some text, and if I want to save that text I should be able to save that text, right? It's taking a lot of time. Let me go once again. I think it is, yeah. So SC38 once again, I will run that one. It was taking a lot of time. Run this, and you can see that this is how it's coming, right? This is how it's coming. If you go back, we should be able to go back, right? But we are not able to go back. Why we are not able to go back? Already code and everything is copied, right? So set PF status of program, this is fine. Here inside the 100 we are doing this, and at user command back button leave to screen 0, right? So it's there. Let's put the breakpoint and it should be activated. Oh, it's telling that it does not exist, but it is there inside this program, right? Of this program we are using. So that is okay. Let me run once again. It's not getting triggered, right? It's not getting triggered. Why? We are using the GUI status of that previous program. There it was working fine, correct? 19. So when we are giving something over here, www.google.com, go back, it's working here fine, but I don't know what is getting wrong over there. Day 19 set PF status, day 19, it's active. /n SC38 once again, let's go. What is the problem? That should work, right? SciUcom. This is not getting triggered basically. Set PF status, and this is 1920 number program. Day 19, that is right. This PF status is already there inside this program. This program is correct or not? This is correct one, right? This program is the correct program. Call screen 100, this is fine. It looks good for me, right? This is fine. Run this once again. It's not taking place, no problem. What we will do, that we'll create one PF status for this. Remove this. Off program not working, something is going wrong. Earlier we have seen it was working, right? In one or two program in previous session I have shown you. Let's not go into this part. So text, just simply I'm going to put the function keys. Save I would require to show you the flush, and back just to go for the back. Activate it, and now it should work. Just go back, and now also it's not working. What is wrong? /n SC38. /100, this is fine. 100 output over here. PBO, oh, sorry, we should have to uncomment, right? We have to uncomment, then only it will go there, right? How it will go if we don't uncomment it? So that was the problem basically. We need not to create the other means we can use the previous one itself of program the program which we are having. So that also now will work, okay, because we have it was commented, so that's why it was not working. Just go back and now it's working, right? You can see that it's working fine. So the text control is this one, right? And let's suppose if you want to if you want to get some data, so object training is last day. Today, oops, training is last day. I just want to display this one. Okay, this is just I want to display. So in order to display this one, what we have to do, in order to display this, I'll just keep it in a notepad and just go back. See, so what actually I'm trying to do, that when I'm clicking on the save button, okay, when I'm going to click on the save button, I want to get that particular text over here and display a message that I'm going to save a text, right? This particular message I want to display. So for this purpose, you have to get the text first, right? Whatever text, let's suppose whatever the text you are entering in that particular text control, that message you want to display, right? That you want to display. So geo underscore html underscore c, this is the object you have created, and this is having one method called get stream, something like that, get stream. Okay, this is having a method called get what is that method? Let's search something like a stream is having one method over here. This one, get selected text stream, get selected text as a stream, right? So different types of method we are having, and one of the method we are going to use over here. So different method you can see over here, right? So one of the method we have to get selected. Let's see some more method. Get text as a stream, get text a stream. Anything is fine. Get text stream or get text as a stream is also okay, right? And here you can see so many useful method. Selected text, whatever you have selected, that if you want to get, right? I want to get the complete text. Okay, so get text stream, I'm just going to get it, and this, whatever you are passing it over here, that we are going to get it. So it will also tell you that whether it is modified or not. Very useful control, very useful. This so the name geohtmlc we are giving, right? CL. Let's give some good name. Geo. This is the text control. Copy this and pass it over here, because it's text control, so it's good to have the good naming convention. And here we can use the inline declaration, and in this we can use lv underscore text, right? And this is what I'm trying to display this as a message, right? Check the syntax. What's the problem? Field geo html c, sorry, now we have changed the field name, right? Geo text c. So give this geo text c, check this, and a statement concluding ended unexpectedly. Yes, give it, check the syntax. Now activate this one, activate, and I want to display that as a message. lv underscore text, type I. Now you have to tell, okay, keep open your chat box and you give me the answer. Okay, this is the method. What this method will do? What's your expectation from this method? Whatever the data we are passing it, right? Whatever the data we are passing it, that data should come over here, right? So what's the data we are having here? Just I'm passing some of the data, maybe, right? This is some of the data we are passing, right? And when you are going to click on the save button, let's suppose when you are going to click on the save button, then in that case we have to get this particular text on the save button, let's suppose. So just click on the save button and nothing is happening. Let's put the breakpoint, right? Okay, but the thing is that you can see that we are writing the code inside the output. So when you click on the save button, in order to work this particular code, after clicking on the save button, where this code should be written, in PAI or PBO, where when we are going to click on the save button, where the code should be written? Who will give this answer? Right? PAI, very good, right? So let's go and put this particular piece of code in the PAI. So PAI, when save, then control V. Pattern, check the syntax and activate this. Put the breakpoint over here and press F8. Again, I'm just going to give that message. Click on the save button. Our expectation is what? The text which we have entered, which text? This text, right? That should come inside this LV underscore text. Press F6 and let us see. Are you able to get any text? No. Why? This is due to the control framework management. We are supposed to get the text, but we are not able to get. Why? Because of, you can see that there is no text, nothing is coming, right? Due to the control framework management. What basically system is trying to do, system is asking you, whatever the different types of text you are having, put all those text control, right? Get all those text control data, put into the queue. Let me show you some theoretical part over here now. This is your presentation server. Okay, you can see that this is your presentation server. This is your application server where your code is going to run. Their presentation server where you are writing your code, okay, and where your message will be displayed, right? So basically the text edit control, where you are text edit control, where it will be there, it will be there on the presentation server, and from that presentation server your message should come right to the application server, and that message command will take that message, right? That message command will take that message and display the message again to the presentation server. This is what it is going to happen. So here you are having one text edit control in which you are putting the message, right? So all those message in the text edit control will come and sit into this automation queue. What is this? Let's understand the structure. In the presentation server, you are having the automation queue. You are having the automation controller. So presentation server is having your automation controller. In automation controller, you have the automation queue. Similarly, in the application server, you are having the automation queue, and in you are having the control framework, and inside the control framework, you are having the automation queue, right? So this is how the architecture is. Once again, in the presentation server, you have the application, you have the automation controller. Inside the automation controller, you are having the automation queue. Again, in the application server, you have the control framework, right? Control framework, nothing is some set of classes and programs, right? Which has been designed to achieve a specific task, right? Framework, right? And here inside the control framework, you are having the automation queue, right? Inside the control framework, you are having the automation queue. What will happen? All those text which we are giving it over here, that will go and sit inside the automation queue. Why? Because every time if you have the different text over here, and if you just interact with the application server every time, it will have the performance problem. So just in order to improve the performance, we will be putting all those text into the automation queue. If you have more than one text control, so all those text data will be putting over here in automation queue. And once you flush, the data will come from here to here, in the control framework, it will come, right? So the automation queue is seated at both the places, in presentation server also and in application server also. In application server, this is part of control framework. In presentation server, it's part of automation controller, right? Now, how the data will come now? We have to use the flush, right? Because at this moment, all those text data is here in this automation queue, right? So we have to flush it. We have to flush it in order to get the data into that particular variable, this variable LV underscore text, right? So come here and just go back. Okay. And we are going to write via flush method CLG CL control framework CLCFW. Okay. And before this, you will have to give GUI. CLGUI CFW is the class which holds all the control framework related method, and it is having one method called flush. Okay, having several methods, but one of the method is flush method. So just I'm trying to call that flush method. Sometimes it becomes slow. Just a second. Yeah, search for the flush, and you can see that you have this flush method. Check the syntax now. Check the syntax now. Activate this one, and run this. Give this and click on this save button. Okay, and this time LV underscore text, at this moment there is no data, but once you execute this particular statement, you will see that the data into that variable has come, right? So this is the magic of flush keyword. Okay, many places you will be able to see this flush keyword. Okay, and now you can see that today oops above training is the last date, right? So this is how you can use the flush. So it will flush all the data which is sit inside the automation queue. Okay, it will flush from presentation server to application server. The communication happens to and fro, from presentation to application, from application to presentation server, right? Did you understand this concept? If yes, write capital Y if you understood the concept, how it is working. If you want to get the data into this variable, you have to use this flush keyword. Now let's go and discuss about the dispatch. What is the use of dispatch? So in order to understand the dispatch is actually related with events. Okay, dispatch is related with events. So for that purpose, let's suppose we are going to implement one event. Okay, so in order to implement the event, what we have to do, we have to create one local class. Okay. So this CL text edit, if you go CLGUI text edit, and if you come over here, you can see that you have one double click event. There will be one double click. This double click event I want to, just use. Okay. So one class, let's go and define class CL event, CL double click handler, something like that. Okay. And one class methods, I'm just going to define display message, that let it be like this only. So class method is this one, display message, and we have to So whenever we define our event handler method, how we define? We define for event. What's the event name? I copied the name, right? Of the class name. What's the class name? This is CLGUI text edit. So this we have done. This we are done. Now we have to implement this. Copy this one. Implementation. Display message, right? So here just display some message, double clicked, pretty printer, and let us see if it's working or not. We have to register also, right? We have to register also and give the event, otherwise it will create the problem. Start of selection and register it. So for registering, you know that set handler, and the method is this one. This is the class, and the method is display message for all instances of now. Just giving, check the syntax. Public protected, yes, we missed it. So at least public section, one section at least we have to give. Activate this one, activate this, and now just run this and double click over here. So when we are double clicking, nothing is happening. Why? When we are double clicking, nothing is happening. Set handler we are doing, right? Call handler, this is also fine. Implementation, display message, class method display message. So I'm actually expecting it to trigger basically. So when I'm double clicking over here, it's nothing is happening. So I need to check what is the problem. Okay. So let's try to observe here what's the issue. Okay, I got it. The problem. Actually, you can see that here you have one filter also, so it does not, you will not be able to directly register the event like this. This is important, but apart from this, you require to have one more step over here. What is that step? You have one method called, go to the output over here, and it is having a method called set registered event, that we have to set it. So geo underscore text underscore c, the same control, it is having one set registered event, set registered event, this one. Okay, and in this you have to pass the events which you want to, trigger. So let's go and pass. Look, now come here and we will see the parameters, how the parameters is defined. Copy this, come here, and it underscore events, like line of one more query also I require, right? Copy this, control V, And the event, which event I want to register? Event hyphen. I want to register this double click event, right? I want to register this double click event. So you can see that the event ID is coming over here, and the event double click, just to go to AC24 CL GUI text edit, right? And go to the attribute, search for the double click, event double click, right? And for this -601 is the initial code, right? Either you copy and paste this code, but better to access through the attribute name. So copy this one and CL GUI text edit and give this CL GUI text edit event double click, right? Check the syntax now. And we have to pass that IT underscore event, IT underscore event events. Append this work area WA underscore event to IT underscore events. This internal table is now ready. Check this. Check this and activate this. Run this one, double click, and this time you can see that it is working fine, right? When I'm double clicking, double clicked is working now. You can see. So here, now I will show you something interesting. Okay, just have a focus over here. Implementation, going to put the breakpoint over here. Process PBO, here also I'll put the breakpoint, and here also I'll put the breakpoint. See, everywhere PBO, PAI, and in that at all executable code I have put the breakpoint. Okay, here also I can put, here also I can, everywhere I put the breakpoint. Now press F8. Okay, press F8 and press F8. The output is getting triggered. That's fine. Double click over here. When you are double clicking, what is happening? Instead of going to the PAI, right? When you double click, when you take any action on the screen, what is our expectation? It should go to the PAI section, right? PAI section of here it should come the control. But what's it's happening basically? It is, coming directly to the method implementation display message, right? You can see that it's directly coming to the display message, and here it's displaying. So this is fine. Why it's directly coming to the implementation part, not going to the PI? Because this event is the system event. Which event? The event double click is the provided by the system, and by default it is the system event. If it is the application event, then it will first go to the PAI and then it will go to the PBO, right? PAI means here it will come in input section, right? The control will come. So what we will do, we can make forcefully one system event to application event as well. That is possible. How? WS core event is having one more parameter called application event. You can enable this above true, you can mark, or simply you can pass X like this. You can pass above true or X, anything is fine. Check the syntax, activate this one, activate this one, and this time let's go and observe what it's happening. So just I double clicked, and let's see. Call a screen, press F8 and double click now. Double click, and this time also it is coming over here, implementation only, right? It should come to the PAI. Now my expectation was, okay, I didn't put the breakpoint, okay, in PAI. That's the reason. So I have to put the breakpoint. Just to go back, and I will put the breakpoint on PAI. So earlier we have seen that it was not coming to the PAI. Now this time because I have made it the application event, it is supposed to come inside the PAI. Double click over here and you can see that this time it's coming to the PAI instead of directly going to this display message. Where it's coming to the PAI because that is the application event. Okay, so one important point you learned over here, if directly it's going to the event, right, if it is going directly to the event, if you don't want to let it go directly over there, if it's application event, then you don't have to worry, it will first come to here, right? But if it is a system event and if you want to first go to the PAI and then you want to go to the the event implementation, that event handler method, right? So like that, if you want to do, you have to mark the event as a application event, as I am doing over here. You can see that, right? So this is what you have to do now. Because this is your application event, how the control is there. Once again, let's put the breakpoint over here, right? Again it got slow. Let me close this. I need to run it once again. So go to once again /n SE38, go into the change mode and run this. Press F8, 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 double click over here and it's coming into the input, right? So it's working fine. And after input, you can see that after input, right, double clicked, the event was double clicked, it has just come over here to the event ID and double click, raise event, double click over here, the standard CLGUI, right, and it will call our double clicked over here. So this is fine, right? This is now fine. Now where the role of dispatch comes into picture. Okay, I will show you the role of dispatch. Now remove all this breakpoint. Okay, here it's fine, let it be like that. Come to the POI, come to the POI. When you are doing the double click, okay, when you are doing the double click, in that case, let's do this thing. Comment this back button, let it be like that. Put it where? When others, right? So when you double click, it will come inside the others, right? And here let's suppose display the message first, type I, and here you have the message second, the second message you want to now display, right? This second message, let's suppose let me first tell you what actually I'm trying to show you. So two messages I have given it over here. Now run this. If you double click over here, the first message is displaying, right? Then the second message is displaying, and now it's displaying the third message, right? Double click over here, right? Double clicked. So first message, second message, and now this is your third message. So I'm going to give this as a third message over here. Third message. Okay, third message. Fine. Now Just run it and double click over here. First, second, and third is coming. That is fine. This is expected behavior is coming. Now let's suppose inside the event handler, this method I want to display very first time in beginning itself. This third message itself, I want to display first, right? Third message I want to display first. See, first is coming, second is coming, third is coming. Third message is the event wala message. This is the event inside the event handler class message, this third message. And this is the PAI message. Okay, the first message is related with what? This is the PAI message. This is the PAI message, right? This is the PAI message. Very important to understand. That's why I'm putting more focus over here. And here, this is the event message. So just understand this flow and you will be able to understand the dispatch. Double click over here. PAI first got triggered, then PAI second got triggered, and then the event third message got triggered. What my requirement is, I want to display this event handler method code. I want to execute the event handler method code very first time. In first time currently what it's displaying? Currently it's displaying PI first. Instead of PI first, the third message I want to display first. How to do that? How to do that? In order to do that, you have to use the dispatch event. Okay, so if you want to trigger the event handler method first, you have to use the control framework, and this is having a method called, CLGUI CFW and dispatch. This is the method. Okay, so this method you can use for the purpose of triggering the event at, means you want to dispatch the event, you want to dispatch the command whenever you want to, means it's your wish. If you don't give, it is going as per their own wish. You are forcefully first triggering the event handler code, and then you are going to display this one. So this is what basically we are going through. Now if you just run this one and if you double click, you can see that first now it's coming the event third message, then will come the first, and then it will come the second. All right, now I'm just going to change this. Now can you tell me the sequence, how it's going to be? Who will tell the sequence? I will put the breakpoint. Okay, and now you tell me. Double click over here. See, first it will display you this message, PAI first, right? PAI first. And now which message it will display? Third message, right? It will display which message now? When you are going to use this dispatch, which message, where the control will go? Control will go through the event handler method, right? So I'm just pressing F6. See, you can see that the third message is displaying, and now this the second message will display. So whenever you are going to dispatch, it will call the event handler method. You can put the breakpoint over here and you can see, right? So once again I'm going back, right? Shift F12, you will come back, right? So I have come back over here. F6, first message, right? Because of this, and now it will go to their event handler, right? So CL, so already it is dispatched. See, already because it is dispatched, so it didn't trigger, right? So because in debugger itself, I just went back and tried doing this one, so it is not working. We have to again, start from beginning. So double click over here, and now this time you can see first, and then dispatch. It will call your event handler. See, event handler, right? Display message, third message, and now it will come back, and then PAs. So this is the beauty of CFW. It will improve your performance, right? So CL underscore CL underscore CFW flush method and dispatch method. Important one. You should understand this concept, very important concept in order to CLGUI CFW. Sometimes in interview also they ask this question. Okay. Fine then. I'm done for today's session and I will ask you some couple of questions. Hope you have just revised, right? So this revision one I will make in the class number 20. So that we'll be having the good set of classes, right? So just to give me a moment.